As Amazon continue to add more applications into the blacklist, more than 65,000 of you tuned into my last video about one potential workaround. And this was basically to use this new application available directly on the Amazon App Store, which allows you to clone your applications and then give them a different name. Using that different name means that they shouldn't be blocked by Amazon. Now, I've demonstrated this with this application here. This application we can see here is on the current blacklist because it has the warning triangle, which means right now you get a warning which you can dismiss, but ultimately it's up to Amazon if they decide to completely disable it or block it or something else. And we can see that this application, which was a clone of this one, doesn't have the warning triangle and actually works absolutely fine. Now, as you can imagine, with over 65,000 views, so many of you are asking many questions about this application. Everything from, will Amazon block this application? Can you clone certain streaming applications? Why is the application crashing? And so on and so forth. So let me answer those key questions right now. I do politely ask that please do watch the entire video because so many of the same questions were asked in my last video, and hopefully you'll find an answer to what you're looking for. So first question, so many questions like this: how long before Amazon removed this application, this app cloner, from the Amazon App Store? The reason why I think it will stay in the Amazon App Store, because the purpose of this application is to allow you to have the flexibility of cloning your applications so you can use separate credentials. So you may have a certain application which is for, personal stuff. You may have two accounts for the same application. So instead of constantly logging out, logging back in, you can just clone the application and then you can have one application with one login and the other application with the other login. So that's how he's basically described it in the description directly on the Amazon App Store. Run multiple instances of the same application, sign into different accounts at once using separate data, separate spaces for your clone application, fast switching and clear organization with unique names. So really just an easy way for you to have multiple copies of the same application, giving you that flexibility. Of course, he's not mentioning anything about piracy or app blocking or circumvention or anything like that. So I personally think it will stay in the Amazon App Store, but as you can imagine, things can change very quickly. So make sure you are subscribed with all notifications so I can let you know if something happens. Next up, many comments about the cloner working for certain applications, but then other people saying it's not working for the same application. Now, when I spoke to the developer about this, he said the number one reason for the application crashing is based on your Fire OS version. So we can see on my device, I'm on my 3rd generation Fire TV Cube, which means I'm running Fire OS version 7. Now, many of the crashes were actually attributed to older versions of Fire OS, like for example, Fire OS 6. Now, what will really help the developer in this process is, instead of just saying, oh, this application crashed or this application won't clone, is to basically have a format like you can see on the screen where you say, application I tried to clone, ideally with a version number, the Fire OS version I'm on, like Fire OS 6, Fire OS 7, Fire OS 8, and then did the application crash during the cloning process? Does the application crash when you try to launch it after the cloning process? Or for example, the cloning process completes okay, but then the application just hangs, it doesn't actually start. So that kind of detail will really help him and allow him to release a newer version of this application with all of those issues and bugs fixed. So if you can do that in the comments for anything you've discovered yourself, that'll really help the community out. Now, before we continue, let me just quickly share this QR code that if you are looking for a fantastic offer for a ridiculously fast VPN, stay safe online, change your IP address, access geo-locked content, protect your privacy, you definitely want to go ahead and scan this QR code for a superb discount. Next up, a similar kind of thing where you've got somebody saying it keeps going back to the home screen. So again, we need to have the clarification there. Is it when you try to clone it, does it go back to the home screen? Is it after you've cloned the application, but when you try to launch it, it crashes? So we need that specific detail so we can then fix those problems. Now, the developer has actually promised that the new version is coming out either later today, which is Thursday, or Friday tomorrow. So make sure you're on the lookout for the latest update, because that will fix a lot of these issues. A lot of these application crashes, a lot of these cloning process clashes will all be fixed in this latest update. I'm just giving you the heads up of some of the changes that you can expect. So here's a very, very common question: that once you've got a successful clone, can you now delete the original application, or is it still required? So we can see in my example, this is the cloned app. This is the original app. I can now uninstall this, uninstall, give that a second. That should then remove that from my device, and we can see it's done exactly that. So all I have now left on my device for this app is the cloned version. And when I click on that, you can see it should still work absolutely fine. It's now prompting me that there's an update available. In fact, let me just do the update just to demonstrate in real time. I can now install the update. So this is me installing the update of a cloned application. And we can see in a couple of seconds that should complete. And just while waiting for this to finish, guys, make sure you've double checked and seen that you are subscribed to my channel, because YouTube is telling me that more than 75% of you are watching my content, but you haven't actually subscribed yet. So double check, make sure you are subscribed with all notifications so you know exactly when the new update drops or when a new video drops. Thank you. That's now finished. I can click on open. I can now see all of the content in here. Click on play, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that starts streaming straight away. So just to show you that, obviously it does depend on the application. Some applications are more complex depending on how the package name has been written, how the underlying code works, but it does show you that with the right tweaking, the right adjusting, the right modifications, you can successfully clone a package and use it absolutely fine without really experiencing any more blocks or warnings. Let's back out of that. Then we have this question. So many of you are saying that you can actually find this application in the Amazon App Store. Now, I did double check this with the developer just to make sure that maybe he's only published it in one country or one region, but he said to me that it's published globally, which means anybody, if they go to the Amazon App Store and types in the full word or types in the full name, which is app, and then as you can see in the list now, so that's actually a positive sign, because when an application is brand new, that's why Amazon don't really show it in any of the search results, because the application is so new. But we can see now, you can see it in the list. Let's click on that. And that should then show you the application for you to install. So this one here. Now, another question, which I'm not going to show on the screen, but lots of you had Googled the word app cloner and found a separate application from a completely different developer. I don't even think the application properly works on Amazon devices, because that application, the other one, is designed for phones and tablets. That's the wrong application, and that's not the one we're covering in my video. The one I'm talking about is this one with this blue background. That's the correct application that you want to install. So double check that, and you should see that in your Amazon App Store. And if you can't see it, leave me a comment below and let me know which region you are accessing the Amazon App Store from. Next one was just about the application updates. So yes, he has actually submitted the application to be updated to Amazon. It normally takes 24, 48 hours for them to approve the update. Once the update has been approved, that then is rolled out in a phased approach to all devices. You should be able to see the update when you go to the application, go to more info. It should tell you here to install the update. So at the moment, I can't see any update, but hopefully later on today, Thursday or Friday, you should see the new update, and that will have all of the fixes we previously mentioned. So fixes for some applications crashing, fixes for some applications that don't actually clone properly, or they do clone, but when you try to start them, they don't start. But again, it is going to be an application by application, case by case basis. So if you do find other applications which you can't successfully clone, or that you can clone but are not working properly, please leave a comment below with the format I previously mentioned, and we can hopefully work together with the developer with an updated fix to get all of these applications to clone properly. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure there's going to be other questions that you guys are going to have. If you do, please leave a comment below. And lastly, just as a quick reminder, make sure you are using a VPN when doing anything on your FireStick, just to protect yourself, protect your privacy, and to stop your ISP throttling you. I think a VPN is essential for all of your streaming devices. I've been using IPVanish for more than 5 years now. I believe it's the best. It gives me unlimited connections, which means I can install it on as many devices as I like. All of my Fire Sticks, my laptops, my phones, tablets, all of those devices are covered with a single license. And to get all of that at a fantastic price point for just over $2 a month, it really is a fantastic offer. Using my link does help support the channel, so many thanks for doing that. And again, at this price point, it's definitely worthwhile checking out. So really appreciate your support. Do like and share this video, and I'll hopefully catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks.